BPRM is the scheduling software that we use at Cherokee Indian Hospital to schedule our appointments and keep track of some of the information that goes along with those appointments. It's also called Moonwalk as well as just generally the scheduling package. So those are two other names that you may hear it called. The first thing we need to do is download that software onto your desktop. So if we come to this folder and go to the pharmacy share drive, and if we search for Moonwalk, we can just copy and paste this file onto your desktop. All right, so then if we double click to load it up, your access code and your verify code will be the same exact access code and verify code that you use to log into EHR. So go ahead and put that information in. And typically when you first log in, it'll say to select a database. The only database is CIHA, so just go ahead and select that and click login. And now once it brings up this home page, we'll go down here and click the scheduling tab. And what we need to do is, since it's your first time logging in, we'll need to add all the PCMH pharmacist schedules onto your BPRM so that you'll be able to readily pull that information up. So the first thing we'll do is click the status bar to minimize that. And then if you come into this clinic section, we'll just sort of go through and add all those schedules. So just type these in just exactly as they appear. So the first one will be CIHA Farm Resident. And if you just click it, it'll go ahead and add it here as a schedule that's available for you to see. And then we'll do CIHA Reagan. Then we'll do Tele Reagan and CIHA Metterhausen. And then Tele Metterhausen. The distinction here is the CIHA Metterhausen those are going to be patients that are physically coming into the hospital, whereas these teleschedules are patients that are being seen either as a phone visit or as a video conference visit. And then the way the schedules are broken out is those are the pharmacist's last names that are part of the title there. So then we'll do CIHA channels, and then we'll do telechannels, CIHA Durst, and then Tele Durst, and then CIHA Gonzalez and Tele Gonzalez. Now to pull up a schedule, we'll just use the CIHA Farm Resident schedule to test out or show you all some of this information, but you just check that box and then it pulls up a calendar here. And so you can look by just the daily view, weekly view, or monthly view by using these tabs up here. And so we'll just look at the weekly view for now. And so for today being Sunday, to schedule an appointment, you would right click and do schedule appointment. And you can just click OK through this message. And what we'll do is we'll just practice on a demo patient. So I'll say demo Jerry Lou. And then in this other info box, it's just sort of a chance to add some information to clarify what that visit's about. So we'll just do a diabetes follow-up and just hit save. So now when it's shown in blue here, that means that it's just an appointment that's scheduled. And if you click the status bar down here, we kind of get this color-coded message that tells you what each one of these visits will mean. So like, for example, like I said, with that one in blue, that just means that's a patient that's on the schedule. Whereas if we have it in green, like this, that means that patient's checked in. It means they're either at the hospital, or if it's a televisit, that means we're actively seeing that patient at that time. And the other color you may see is this yellow color. And so again, that means that the patient's checked out, that appointment is complete at that time. And then if it's in red, then that means that that patient was a no-show or we were unable to get in contact with them. Another cool thing you can do is if we if I undo this checkout, then let's see, undo check-in. So if we had this patient scheduled and say they gave us a call and they weren't able to make it until Tuesday, you could just left click on this and you could just drag it until Tuesday at 10 a.m. when the patient's able to actually make the appointment. And then you'll have to put a cancellation reason. And so you can just say, that the patient had a scheduling conflict and hit save. And so then we still have the record of that canceled appointment, but now we have them on the schedule for that new date as well. Another cool feature is that you can go and you can look out from the schedule from 3 weeks from now, and you can see what your schedule looks like, as well as trying to find a time when you and that patient can meet again. And then if you want to bounce back to today, you could just click today there. The other cool thing I wanted to show you is if we right click on this, where that patient's name is, and you go select an EHR. If you have an EHR session open and we come back here, it'll automatically pull that patient up in EHR, which is nice because then when you're working up your patient, it sort of saves you from having to jump back and forth between these, trying to remember or memorize chart numbers and things like that. You can just right click and pull the patient really quick. Um, and then the last thing I was going to show you is if you hover over the patient's name, you can get a lot of good information here. So it'll show you again in the other info tab at the bottom there what the appointment is generally going to be focused on, as well as giving you the patient's HRN number or their chart number, as well as the patient's phone number in case we need to get in contact with them.